Coming back here for another episode of the Crypto Spendthrift Podcast. Skipping Coin Watch today. Why? Because not much has changed, and there's a lot of news, a lot of things happening in the past few days. So, I want to check out like the coins I'm watching, looking out for, not necessarily like invested in, but watching to see their progress. You should definitely check out the previous podcast, because today is all going to be about news and how it's affecting the crypto economy. So first up, article that kind of supports my prediction that I made, and a statement I said, I don't know when, but I remember I said it on one podcast, which is the new Darknet marketplaces embracing Monero instead of Bitcoin. And in this case, it's one called Libertas. It's using Monero exclusively, which is unsurprising. I fully expect that more dark web marketplaces will adapt this policy, because like I said previously, unlike Bitcoin, which is not really, I'd call it pseudo-anonymous, not really anonymous cryptocurrency, while Monero is fully anonymous. And with the appropriate setup on the website, the appropriate setup on the website and like your end of using Tor and all that, OPSEC stuff, most people will be pretty much hard to track down in comparison to how easy you could track someone down with Bitcoin once you've kind of like did some chain analysis and really watching them. And yeah, but expect more marketplaces to adopt fully Monero. I don't know how Monero's developers going to react to this. I imagine eventually he might find some pressure by the authorities, and it will probably lead to some kind of fork by someone who's fully anonymous and leading to a new chain probably. But who knows? That's way too far in the future. You gotta wait till more dark marketplaces adopt it fully and cut out Bitcoin. But until then, we'll just have to watch and wait. Next up, Bitfinex exiting the US market by November 9th. So, as you all may know, the US isn't the best place for crypto, and some people and some companies just rather not deal with the US market at all because of the risk by government and the fees that they might incur. Many people don't even touch New York at all because of the legislation they passed, probably to kind of in the interest of traditional investment, since they're Wall Street and all that. But this is not too much of a surprise, considering the uncertain era regarding the legal kind of legislation in America. However, this is going to make a short-term impact, and a long-term, it's not going to matter that much in the long term. Things will shift. Other people will kind of dominate. It's sad to say that there will probably be very few select that exchanges that are U.S. dominated for a while until America adapts and embraces the innovation. Next up, another exchange-related news. Many people have been complaining about Bittrex and being locked out, their accounts being deleted, not being able to withdraw, and that's all because of a policy effect. I actually surprised that it happened when it happened. I thought it was going to be a couple more months before they fully enact this policy change, but they've actually been saying it. They had it on their website for quite a long time now, because I do remember seeing that they said they will eventually roll out their little verification process and making everyone basically have to verify that their identity to use the exchange. And I'm sure most people kind of thought it was not going to happen as fast also, and they probably thought that their legacy accounts wouldn't instantly get shut down to the lowest limit possible, and it'd be impossible to withdraw. So the people who are really getting screwed are the people who one, are in doing illegal things, two, don't want their real identity tied for whatever reason. So this could be tying back to legal things, but illegal in a way of more tax dodging and such. But yeah, if you know anyone who's kind of baffled that their Bittrex account is frozen in a way, like they can't withdraw, or it's suddenly gone, this is why. It's because most of the accounts that were deleted, I believe, are because they've been tracking them and they assume that there's something nefarious going on, so they're tied to maybe some darknet things, like people were sending money straight to a darknet related site or some kind of illegal activities and instantly got shut down. But other than that, all you have to do is verify your account and then you can withdraw. So I assume this is going to have an effect on some people, that some accounts will just be sitting there forever with variable amount of money inside of them and never touched again. But things are changing in crypto. You can't be fully anonymous now. At least 100% of the time. You have to reveal yourself at one point in time, either via the online revealing yourself, credit card information, things like that, or in person revealing yourself. Unless you got the money to mine coins, total online being totally anonymous is an impossible feat. Next up, Russia launching the CryptoRuble. This should come to no surprise. They've been kind of teasing it for months that they were going to do this. I don't really care for it because it's going to be super centralized and controlled by the Russian state. It's basically a reaction to the crypto environment. Who knows what it can do, though. It might be good for Russia and only Russia. It also depends on how they set it up. If you need to be a Russian citizen, if it's like a centralized exchange by the Russian government that you have to be a citizen to even get on the exchange, then it'll probably be relatively stable compared to many other currencies, since they won't have tons of people speculating. It will just be relatively just be Russians. Obviously, some people will be able to kind of loophole through it, but all depends. I anticipate that it's probably I can't really see it being too quickly adopted. It's probably going to be in phases because there's not really too big of an incentive to use it. But I'm sure they'll make some kind of incentive to use the CryptoRuble if you're Russian over anything else. Alright, China has become irrelevant in the scheme of things after their legislation. And they make up 1% of the global trading now. They used to be very important to the environment, but now they've been really shut off, and the people who are Chinese probably moved to other areas or Hong Kong and kept trading what they were trading because they had the money to do it. So this kind of proves that despite one country's laws coming in and slamming things down, the crypto environment will definitely pick back up and keep chugging along. It'll probably take a concerted effort to really put down crypto at this point. One country can't do much. It only makes a short-term slump. Swift demoed their smart contract trade with some financial firms on Monday at a banking conference. This case kind of proves that hype and news aren't the same thing, because the hype hit during the conference, a small peak, and then ever since then, Chainlink, which was one of the parts of the conference, it's nosediving down. The good news, though, is it definitely seems like it will be a technology implemented by actual banks and financial firms. But I think this is going to be one of those things that it was a flavor of the month, and people are going to forget about it until the kind of main thing of it comes out and nodes come out for it. So I expect the price to shoot up when people can start operating nodes. Then Gates Foundation is using Ripple Interledger tech for a mobile payment push. I've seen a little controversy with this one, kind of more from the people who are kind of hardcore decentralized, and they have a thing that, since Ripple's really one of the more antithesis of what crypto really stands for, I'd say Ripple and Bitcoin Cash. There's kind of been a negative spin on this article for the people who've been commenting on it, but all in all, it's really just another case of a big established entity utilizing blockchain technology. I don't think this is really going to do much for Ripple, because between Chainlink, which partners with Swift, and IBM and Stellar Lumens, is going to be a tough fight in the banking world for domination of the tech domination that's going to happen. So that's that. JPMorgan is integrating Zcash's privacy tech into its Quorum blockchain. This is actually kind of interesting. I'm kind of surprised that this is happening, especially since the recent outbreaks of their CEO, I believe, or something, Jamie Dimon. But they're using Zcash, and it's also kind of a curious thing how Zcash was kind of also fudded to be a darknet coin that only uses for illegal means, yet look at this financial firm utilizing this key security thing. I'm not really sure how it's going to play out. JP Morgan's kind of in a weird position with blockchain. They have a weird position because openly critical to Bitcoin, but very open to the technology, which is in a way kind of backwards if you think about it. You don't have to be 100% on with Bitcoin, but I think you have to acknowledge the utility of it being the first coin and opening up the wave, and how it'll be around for a while, because all these other establishing coins always trade into Bitcoin more than likely. Who knows with all these corporate coins, though, or a state coins now. BNP and Ernest Young have completed blockchain trials for an internal treasury operation. So this is more on the audit and using the ledger, like the easily audited ledger of blockchain technology, because I know for a fact that Ernest Young is a accounting firm, so it makes total sense that they'd be investigating blockchain technology for internal treasury operations, and definitely anticipate other accounting firms that try to utilize blockchain technology for whatever activities they have to do, since having that ledger is a way easier way of auditing, because like how blockchain touts that you can't really cook books or change things once it's in there. So blockchain is definitely a superior choice regarding accounting. Next up, Microsoft again. Well, Microsoft Gates related, I guess. Microsoft launches blockchain project, and this one's a government project called Azure Government Secret. It's kind of weird. This was Microsoft pushing to be the one who creates this blockchain technology, the system for government related agencies. That one really, I'm kind of conflicted on, because this really has no immediate benefit for the environment, crypto environment, because this is anything government related can be really dragged out for a long time, and the government also takes a long time to upgrade. This overhaul of government agencies, good thing overall, but will it actually have an impact? Will it actually happen on a decent timetable? I'm doubtful, fully doubtful. And the final news, it's not really news per se, but it's more of kind of showing how intense the debate, well, assuming this is related to the Bitcoin scaling debate, BitGo's engineer was swatted. Yep, swatted, because he's pretty outspoken against 2x. I'm sure someone probably from another country that's another, like, to use the word third world country, or somewhere along the lines where probably not gonna get anything done for them. Like, they can escape the law of swatting somebody, especially someone who's basically, in a way, political opposition. Because sure, this isn't like presidential race, but these are prominent figures in this community who are stating their opinions and are adamant about their opinions, and people are listening to them and definitely influenced by what they're saying in this massive debate. Some people speculate that it is about this debate, but some say it's just could be completely unrelated. Who knows? But I like to take the path of caution that if it is, it just kind of shows how intense and, things have big money risk when people are going to that kind of extremes. So, kind of understand the importance of picking a side on this scaling debate, and picking the side that isn't the corporate money, throwing in my own little propaganda there. But stay skeptical to any kind of fork. Stay skeptical to any kind of derivative, or kind of deriding from an original vision of something, especially when the way the vision is going isn't for the benefit of the majority. And in an environment that's still very much in its, not really infancy, but I'd say it's approaching adolescence, you really need to watch out for all these attempts to control the direction of the environment by small groups of people. Stay stay with the majority. Stay with the option that benefits the average rather than just companies for the short term, because most of these companies are just going to look for the short-term profit and not the long-term goals of Bitcoin or any other currency. Just keep that in mind. That's why I tend to prefer to listen to a lot of the more technical people, because they not only understand the underlying mechanics of the coins, since most of them have either different kind of mechanisms going on or similar, just utilized in different ways, and because they also usually are deep in the philosophy behind the coins, like the whole decentralized kind of dig, the whole it's just they're kind of looking out for the long term with less bias and big money interest than someone who owns a corporation and kind of just looking to be antagonistic to throw their name out there further. So be aware about what's going on in the wider community. I don't really care to throw out too many Twitter feuds or any kind of social media feuds like that, but it's probably in your best interest to start getting acquainted with prominent figures on there, because that's the easiest place to find people, and then kind of note how people act. So just in case another fork or debate or anything pops up, you already kind of know where people stand and why they might stand that way. Because in this world, not enough people are asking why or how. Questions are powerful. That's what I'm leaving you with that today. See ya Monday on the Crypto Spenther podcast, and hope you enjoyed the little rambling of the last maybe 4 or 5 minutes. But it came out with a good goal. Keep those questions going, no matter who it is. See you Monday, ladies and gents.